share. You should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
Yo, I come from a small city where nothing is handed. Took my talents and made them work for me, look where I landed. I know a lot of those out there really don't want me having it. They just mad that I'm creeping on them and they had advantages. See, when my voice is on, I let my voice be the change. Put it in these. Let them know that they got a shot at anything they want, and it ain't all about the teaching, but really how they responded. Here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world is smiling out of your media. The others tell it, but they too got some limits, got some limits. We got that food for soul, now what they feeding us. Black lives matter all the time. Yeah, let's talk about it. About the school to prison pipeline. Yeah, let's talk about it. All this brutality out of line. Yeah, let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it. I am unapologetically progressive in efforts to fight for the people. Gotta exercise our voting rights and then push the needle. I'm walking tall, cause I know that y'all expect me to lead. To push the message, I am willing to bleed. I gotta get what I need. That's social reform, that's prison reform. I'm highly informed, don't put down a pen. I got a list, I can't resist. I preach it till I talk with a list. And who you know gon' give it to you like this? Here on KBLA Talk 1580, we gon' get into it. The whole world is smiling out of your media. The others tell it, but they too got some limits, got some limits. We got that food for soul, now what they feeding us. Black lives matter all the time. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. All these thoughts running through my mind. We gotta talk about it.
Yeah, man, let's talk about it. We got a lot to talk about right here. KBLA Talk 1580. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show, the whole 9 to the nighttime, right at 9. Tonight is about Brittany Griner. Kinda. For the very small number of people who are unaware of the recent developments between the Biden administration and Russia, despite her insistence that she made an honest mistake accompanied by tearful pleas for mercy after spending close to 10 months in a Russian prison after being sentenced to 9 years for the trumped-up crime, no pun intended, back in February of 2022, 31-year-old WNBA star Brittany Griner was finally released after the United States agreed to release convicted arms dealer Victor Bout, also known as the Merchant of Death, as reported on the Raw Report this week, in exchange for her freedom. Bout was convicted in 2011 of conspiring to kill U.S. officials and smuggling weapons to FARC guerrillas in Colombia. Many in the African-American community were aggressively calling for Biden to get off of his octogenarian derriere and work harder and smarter to bring our professional women's basketball star home. Especially people like Boosie, who went on Instagram Live to give his own special brand of communication and castigation directly to the Biden administration. Listen.
How the hell this girl get 9 years for a weed pen? And the USA ain't doing nothing about it. You tell me that. If that was Taylor Swift, it'll be a peace treaty right now. It'll be a slight, they'll be drafting to go to war for a weed pen. 9 years. What that show for black women in the United States and the vice president as a black woman, you supposed to be on the front line. You supposed to be on the front line to get that black woman out of jail. 9 damn years. Y'all up in this world.
As inflammatory as Boosie usually is towards members of the LGBTQ+, it was refreshing to watch him advocate for a woman just for the simple fact that she is still one of us. Here's to hoping that he keeps that same energy moving forward. I expect to see his continual support by sitting on the sidelines at future WNBA games, you know. Is that possible? Too soon? But I digress. But with all that being said, Boosie was right, okay? Especially if Brittany Griner was white. If she was a straight member of the melanin-deficient population, one could surmise that America would have put up far more of a fight. But I would rather focus my attention on the fact that Joe Biden deserves kudos for following through on what he said he would do in bringing Brittany home to her family. And word has it that she is currently peacefully resting at home and will take her time on when she will give the inevitable TV interview and write the tell-all book that everyone is anxiously awaiting. Robin Roberts of Good Morning America is likely already online too. But tonight, I want to focus on Joe Biden, our commander-in-chief. The president who has recently had a run of great fortune with his approval rating ticking back above the 50% mark for the first time in over a year. His most recent accomplishments include a huge progressive victory on the Bipartisan Respect for Marriage Act, a bill that requires the federal government to recognize valid marriages between two individuals, ensuring full benefits for marriages regardless of the couple's sex, race, ethnicity, and national origin. In August, he signed the CHIPS and Science Act, which included more than $52 billion for U.S. companies producing computer chips, which was one of the largest investments in American manufacturing and science in a generation. A week earlier, there was bipartisan support for welcoming Sweden and Finland into NATO. And around the same time, there was bipartisan support for the PACT Act, which was a significant expansion of veterans' benefits. That came on the heels of the Bipartisan Safer Communities Act, the first major legislation to address gun violence in nearly 3 decades. And believe it or not, Congress gave the final approval to legislation that for the first time would make lynching a federal hate crime in the United States with the Emmett Till Anti-Lynching Act. The bill makes it possible to prosecute a crime as a lynching when a conspiracy to commit a hate crime results in death or serious bodily injury. The maximum sentence under the Anti-Lynching Act is 30 years, and over the last several decades, there have been roughly 200 attempts to approve anti-lynching legislation. Each one failed until this year, with Joe Biden. And the GOP are terrified, and rightly so. Why? Because the Democrats just had one of the best midterm showings in American history by losing far less House seats than originally expected and managed to even gain a seat in the Senate. And Biden's recent successes even prompted the much-maligned Newt Gingrich to give President Biden credit on foreign policy in a recent op-ed by scribing, and I quote, "Biden carefully and cautiously waged war in Ukraine with no American troops. U.S. weapons and financial aid helping cripple what most thought would be an easy victory for Russian President Vladimir Putin." End quote. Biden is on a roll. And yeah, contrary to popular belief, Biden is running again in 2024. And Biden will easily win, especially if he's up against the easily defeatable Trump-Tin-Skin. But seeing that Biden is on such a roll, though, as many of you already know by now, I always like to look at every controversial moment that impacts the black zeitgeist from a bird's-eye view. Yeah, I am happy that Brittany is home. Yes, her sentence by the Russian judicial system was egregious and had no business being as long a sentence as it was. Yes, the prisoner swap is obviously imbalanced, and Russia easily got the better end of the deal. And also, yes, I am still thankful for Joe Biden being so willing to recognize that no one should be sent to prison for simply being in possession of marijuana paraphernalia. Joe Biden knew the arrest, prosecution, and sentence were inhumane on every level, right? Which presents a serious problem for me. Because if my memory serves me correctly, there are a bunch of other black people who are probably scratching their heads tonight from behind bars. People who suffered the same fate. Arrested, prosecuted, and sentenced for nonviolent marijuana-based crimes, coincidentally by the hands of the same man who is now publicly admitting that his drafting and supporting of the 94 crime bill is now seen as a mistake. His words, not mine. ABC's George Stephanopoulos asked him point blank in 2020, was the 94 crime bill a mistake? And this is what Biden said. Listen.
Yes, it was. But here's where the mistake came. The mistake came in terms of what the states did locally. What we did federally, we said it was, you remember, George, it was all about the same time for the same crime. What I had done as chairman of the Judiciary Committee, took the 10 Circuit Courts of Appeals, took some really brilliant lawyers working for me in Judiciary. We did a study. And we determined what happens if, for the first, second, third offense, for any crime in the criminal justice system, at the federal level, if you're a black man, it's the first time you committed robbery. How long would you go to jail on average? If you're a white man, how long? Black man would go to jail on average 13 years. White man, 2 years. I go down the list of every single crime. So we set up a sentencing commission. We didn't set the time. Every single solitary maximum was reduced in there. But what happened was it became the same time for the same crime. So it said you have to serve between 1 and 3 years. It ended up becoming much lower.
Yeah.
Black folks went to jail a lot less than they would have before, but it was a mistake.
Did anyone follow that nonsense? None of that made sense. Joe Biden was dancing throughout that entire soliloquy. You notice that? Huh? With a strong attempt at revisionist history. So I say all that to say this. Yeah, Brittany Griner took a weed pen to a Russian airport. That was a mistake. Yes, her detainment was a mistake. Her arrest, prosecution, conviction, and sentence given were a mistake. Most may even believe that a low-level prisoner swap for a merchant of death was also a mistake. But Joe, you want to know what else was a mistake? Huh? Your drafting in support of the 94 crime bill. Hillary Clinton calling our brothers super predators. The 3 strikes law mandating sentences ranging from 25 years to life for repeat offenders and pushing America's combined federal and state prison population to its peak of 1.6 million people back in 2009. Yes, Joe, you did that. And now I challenge the Biden administration. If you feel that Brittany Griner should have never been convicted for simple marijuana possession over in Russia, I challenge you to release every black person that is currently behind bars for nonviolent marijuana possession here on American soil. Keep that same energy. These cats don't have celebrity. You don't even know their names. But the injustice for a minor drug offense that Brittany Griner was faced with matches the injustice that Terrence and Tyrone here in California State Correctional exactly the same. Release all nonviolent drug offenders, Biden. Our incarcerated brothers and sisters have been miscast. Because by righting the wrongs of you, the Clintons, and your Democratic colleagues back in the mid-1990s, just might make right your transgressions of the past. But that's just me. Tell me what you think, KBLA. What's your opinion on Brittany Griner's release? Was the prisoner swap worth it? Also, what do you say to those people that say that Paul Whelan should have been released before Brittany? Was she released because she's a celebrity? Because she's a woman? Perhaps because she's a member of the LGBTQ? Or all of the above? And lastly, shouldn't Biden now keep that same energy and release every prisoner that is in jail for marijuana possession, especially the nonviolent offenders, huh? Aren't we at a different place in history with the stigma surrounding marijuana now a thing of the past, huh? Or are you a do the crime, do the time type person? Huh? Holla at your boy. Your voice is change, your voice is community, your voice is on. 1-800-920-1580. 1-800-920-1580. You can also stream us via the brand new KBLA streaming app on your App Store, iOS or Android. It don't matter. That same app allows you to send me your questions and comments that I will answer live at different intervals throughout the broadcast. Plus, like, share, and follow your favorite radio station live on our socials, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at KBLA 1580. Feel free to follow me at Danny Mo Show on those same platforms too. Plus, me and my nighttime partner in crime, Robin Ayers, will take your comments by the ecosystem of our social network. Check this out. When we come forward, I got another 7 series to add to the topic of conversation tonight. Look, not only should Biden release nonviolent drug offenders, but he should also pay us for what we've done for him and the Democratic Party. We have been holding things down for the Dems and him, and it's time to pay the piper, man. So out of 7 series tonight is 7 reasons the Biden administration owes African Americans. We black people, especially black women, have held strong in the face of disappointment, and the least they can do is follow through for me and for you. I will tell you what should be on the menu. Stay tuned. Add to the conversation with your phone calls when we come forward. Welcome to the Danny Morrison Show on Unapologetically Progressive, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. Let's ride.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Three-time WNBA champion, the Los Angeles Sparks, jump into their 27th season this summer with the most games ever in league history. This historic 40-game season means more world-class play in a city where the party never stops. Get connected to an unforgettable experience and secure your seats now at lasparks.com/tickets. When you're the victim of a car accident, who goes to bat for you is crucial. We're MVP accident attorneys, the personal injury pros. Hiring the right law firm could be the difference between a rewarding settlement and striking out. When it comes to getting the maximum compensation you deserve, our team hits it out of the park. Call the pros at MVP Accident Attorneys at 833-MVP-WINS for a free case review. Call 833-MVP-WINS.
Call me your MVP.
Congratulations to the Los Angeles Norwalk Courthouse and part of the Superior Court of California, County of Los Angeles. Congratulations.
Nacho fries are back at Taco Bell. You know, the fries covered in bold Mexican spices you dip in a warm nacho cheese sauce. You can also dunk them in nacho cheese sauce or pour the sauce onto a pile of them and create like a nacho fries nachos. The thing is that you eat them with nacho cheese sauce. That's what makes them nacho fries. Otherwise, you're just eating fries and sipping on nacho cheese sauce, and that's the wrong way. Sorry, just really passionate about nacho fries.
Nacho fries are back, only at Taco Bell. At participating U.S. Taco Bell locations for a limited time only while supplies last. Contact local store for hours and participation which vary.
Wake up and text. Text and eat. Text and meet up with a friend you haven't seen in forever.
Hi.
Oh, hey.
Text and complain that they're on their phone the whole time. Text and listen to them complain that you're on your phone the whole time. Text and whatever. But when you get behind the wheel, give your phone to a passenger. Put it in the glove box. Just don't text and drive. Visit StopTextsStopWrecks.org. A message from NHTSA and the Ad Council.
KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about.
Maisha Cairo here for KBLA Talk 1580. We're live in Blackwell tour, and I'm speaking to some of the attendees today to see why it was so important for them to be here.
Yeah, this is Lakey and Tyler. Main reason that's very important for me to be here is just to leave a legacy for my kids. Black wealth, generational wealth is what we need in our community. You know, Chase. Someone has to take the lead. You know, they're showing big business like Chase cares, and they're putting their money where their mouth is at. You know, so it's good to see big institution like Chase. Giving a lifting hand, to the community, and you got to respect that. It makes me want to bake for Chase, and give them another look. If I go to another institution, I actually see what Chase is doing for the community.
That's right, Chase is doing their part to help advance Blackwell. For more money support, tune in every day from 12 to 2 to KBLA Talk 1580's Midday Money Chain, right here.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Broadcasting live from Leimert Park, California, streaming live on the KBLA YouTube page as we speak. I'm not here to tell you how to think, but I am here to tell you what to think about. We black in a spot, another episode of the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. First on the scene, so fresh and so clean. Let's check in with the energy drinking queen of the She's your happy chatting queen to me.
First off,
I always say, don't try to leave me out here by myself. And tonight, Robin is not leaving me out here by myself.
it's a sometime kind of drink.
Yeah, it's like sometimes I smoke crack. Every now and again, I'm a casual crack smoker.
He is so ridiculous, number one. Number two, sometimes, listen,
Do you ever hear me judge you for drinking?
All the time!
No, I try to help you in telling you to get off of it.
Oh, is that what it is?
That's what it is.
Putting me down, losing self-esteem, but I'm helping you.
How am I putting you down and losing self-esteem? You are extra. You are so extra.
I see that you have, first of all, Red Bulls don't work for me.
Okay, that's because, no, you are beyond at this point.
I see. I think my what do you call it, tolerance level, resistance level, whatever they call it. Pretty soon I am going to be taking crack cocaine in it. Y'all tying up my arm pretty soon.
No,
doing heroin to do this shit.
Don't say that. No, it's
So why do you need one today?
You know, sometimes you're just tired. You know how it is throughout the week. See, I don't have one every day. I actually really try to space it out and just drink it only when I, feel like I need a little oomph.
Mm-hmm.
So today I just felt like I needed a little oomph.
I don't drink one every day, only during the show.
But you do the show every day.
I used to drink one every day back in my hometown, right? And I went to the doctor for my annual appointment, and he was like, your level's kind of different. You need to stop drinking those. And I said, I can't stop. But I cut way back. And now I'm back to normal. But I used to drink them every
now I'm back to normal.
single day. I was peeing syrup at some point. I'm kidding. I'm totally kidding.
Yeah.
But it's not good to drink those every day. And definitely I think it's definitely not good for your heart.
Oh, that's for sure. I used to drink, I think I told you this, I used to drink Red Bull when I was working. I was a server at a restaurant. And, I was always, I don't know, it wasn't that I was ultra tired. I just wanted the drink. So, but I did notice how, like, my heart started racing because I was drinking it pretty much every day. And that didn't last long. I was just like, okay, no, you got to slow that down.
You have to.
Yeah.
That
was years ago, but
I'll tell a little quick story. When I first got here, I was really tired, and we were doing a lot of work to get the promotion going for the station. I was drinking almost 2 of these a day. And I was staying up late at night doing production, video work, and all of that stuff. And one night I'm asleep. It's like 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. My heart is beating out my chest.
Oh, my goodness. How scary.
Flying. And I was like, what the heck is going on? I had to get up and walk around the house. I'm like, what is going on? I had to calm myself down. I almost went to the doctor. Almost.
That's a really scary feeling.
That was a moment.
Well, not the drinks, but have you ever had those, like, diet pills, workout pills, where it's supposed to, years ago, quick, funny story, I was in a singing group, and I had the most weight to lose out of all the girls. Yeah, I was, but we were young. I was 18, something like that, and I have pictures. I wasn't a big girl, but of all the girls, I had the most to lose. So our manager, he put me on these, I forgot what the pills were, but it was the big thing back in the day. I was on those pills, and I was working out like crazy, but just taking the pills, my heart would be like boom, 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 like just crazy. And I was like, I have to stop taking these, so I did, of course. But yeah, that stuff is no joke, really. Anything like that makes your heart race is not good.
But they work. That's the problem.
I guess that's the thing. Like, they get your metabolism going, and all of that, and whatever.
There was a really popular diet.
Yeah, it was.
It was in a red package.
It was in the 90s, and I do not remember the name, but it was everywhere, and that was the thing to take if you wanted to lose weight.
And there was a few people that lost their lives from taking them things.
Was it really? I do remember it being like a big, I don't know if it was like a lawsuit or something happened from that, and I think the business obviously had gone away by now. I don't hear about them anymore.
Well, there's usually some drug inside all of these things that I think it was it aspartame? I think it was aspartame.
That sounds really familiar.
And yeah, anything that had that, I think they banned a certain drug off the market. It couldn't be sold over the counter.
I'm glad they did, because that ain't no joke right there.
Diet pills are always a bad thing.
Right, yeah.
What's going on with the Raw Report?
Woo!
Oh, man.
You know what? Let me tell you. So we're talking about sugar-free. Sugar-free, self-proclaimed pimp, and he's not real life, self-proclaimed, real life pimp. He's in the news for with some information about his wife that we'll get into. Also, the question of the day is an interesting one because there is a podcast that I heard from where they correlate prisons and schools 5 different similarities between prisons and schools, and I'll go through it, and you tell me. That'll be the question of the day. You'll tell me whether you agree with it or not.
That is right up my alley.
I knew it would be. So, yeah, we'll talk about that as well.
That's the Raw Report coming up at the top of the hour. Don't forget the third hour. We'll bring you the Upon Further review clips that we were going to do last night, but the phone calls came in hot, so we never got to them. First clip is Trevor Noah with his great and quite viral video giving praise to black women on his final broadcast of The Daily Show. We'll give you that again. Dr. Umar Johnson, as you guys know, is on The Breakfast Club. His take on Deion Sanders is causing a bunch of ripples on black Twitter. We'll talk about that a little. And Tupac Shakur, I've been trying to play this quote for like 2 weeks. It's crazy. We'll try to get to it tonight. Upon further review clips, all coming up in the third hour after the Raw Report. And I want to thank everyone again for coming out to welcome home Mayor-elect Karen Bass, our event that happened right here in historic Lamert Park. I've been checking out the activity all over our socials all day, today, and yesterday. Man, we appreciate you guys so much. The pics and the vids, and people have been posting their own content, and man, it's just really a blessing. Tavis Smiley has done it again, and did it in record time too, by the way. Brian McKnight, Goapele, Club Nouveau, DJ PZB, who was fired, by the way.
Absolutely.
The Crenshaw High School Marching Band, spoken word artist Kyla Destiny, food trucks, vendors, the entire KBLA 1580 family, and of course Black LA came out to celebrate the election of Mayor Karen Bass, the first black woman to become mayor in this city's history. We had a ball. Stay tuned for our next big event as we continue to be a cog in the wheel of change for Black LA and African Americans nationwide. And to see some of the highlights from Saturday's historic event, do what I just spoke on. Go to our socials, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, too, if you want to see the rebroadcast of the entire event from there. In the meantime and in between time, make sure you follow us on all socials. And remember to download that KBLA app. You can check us out there, hear the podcast there, check out our pictures there, and also you can inside that app if you're afraid to call the show, which a lot of y'all ain't scared. Y'all be calling like crazy. We love it. But tonight, we're discussing the release of WNBA star Brittany Griner after serving almost 10 months in a Russian prison. Are you happy she's home? Do you even care? And shouldn't President Biden keep that same energy and now release any nonviolent drug offenders here in the United States? Robin, I hand it to you. Am I crazy? Am I dreaming?
I think you're not giving enough credit.
To who?
Biden.
I'm giving him the credit inside my opening monologue.
Enough credit.
Brothers need to be sent home, though.
A lot of brothers have been sent home.
Yeah, they're sending hundreds home, I guess, annually at this point.
They're sending people. The fact is that they got it started. They're sending people home for these minor offenses, exactly what you're calling out. And I think that we have to get the ball rolling somewhere. You know what I'm saying? So some credit, I think, is due, which you have, but I think that we have to give him his props. I think that he is keeping the same energy.
Is this a gubernatorial problem? Should we call our governor and say,
I don't know that I don't know that it is, especially because we're talking on a federal level. You know what I mean? So Biden, under that federal law, is sending these inmates home. So, yeah.
If we did a national vote and asked America, should we send them all home today? Release them all today? Nonviolent drug offenders. What do you think it would say? What would the numbers say? I want to think America would go, set them free.
I think it would be a split. I think it would be very much be a very split decision. Yeah. I think it'll be a right and a left, honestly.
Don't we know?
I think that's what it always really kind of comes down to that, right? But, I think so. I think for the majority, because most of us can relate, most of us know, it obviously is going to primarily affect us, our people, right? But been coming out in record numbers, and we're using our voices more and more. So definitely, I think that it would be beneficial, and I think most of us, would agree with that decision.
Well said. Last question, and we'll come back and talk to Daryl here. Is this once again a generational issue? Because there are some people saying, "Hey, back then marijuana was a bad thing. It was illegal." They did break the law back then, regardless of what's happening today. We talked about the NFL and the NBA and the unions, and they don't have the money that these new cats have. A generational issue. Is this the same thing?
Yeah, it is.
Marijuana doesn't have the stigma it once had.
Absolutely. It is definitely a generational
So what do you say to those people when they say, dude, they broke the law then? It's not my fault.
Yeah, but under what pretenses? Yeah, sure enough, is the fact that they it was a law that was broken. I get that, but if we look at what it is actually right now and why it's no longer an offense right now, then then they should be pardoned under what it is right now.
Progressive. There's one thing that should be seen as progressive. It is that.
Yeah, I agree.
1-800-920-1580. When we come forward, we talk to Daryl and get to the 7 Series. Danny Mo Show, KBLA. Stay there.
Nighttime is the right time for Danny Morrison on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from a Black Information Network. A bill ensuring federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages is now the law of the land. President Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act during a ceremony at the White House. WNBA star Brittany Griner is said to be doing well as she recovers at a Texas military hospital after being released from Russian custody. Appearing on ABC's this week, the White House's John Kirby described Griner as being in very good spirits and in good health. In the Big Apple, a northern entrance to Manhattan Central Park will be named for the group known as the Central Park Five. The Gate of the Exonerated is what's inscribed at the entrance, named for the 5 black men who spent years in prison as teens after being wrongfully convicted in the assault and rape of a jogger in 1989. The world's largest crypto exchange, Binance, has seen nearly 2 withdrawals in the last 24 hours. And that is the latest. I'm Doug Davis from the Black Information Network and BINnews.com.
Albertsons and Bonds have partnered with local charities to help families living with food insecurity have a celebration to look forward to. Help provide a holiday meal to someone in need this holiday season by making a donation the next time you shop Albertsons or Bonds.
Hi, I'm Tavis Smiley. As KBLA Talk 1580 host, we never quite know where the conversation is going to go, but sometimes our guests really surprise us.
Let me just close with saying I downloaded your app while we were talking. It's a terrific app. I look forward to it. I'm enjoying your format and what have you. I will tweet it to my several 100,000 followers and call their attention to it as well.
If the KBLA 1580 app is enticing enough for our guests to download and share, you should download the app and share with your friends too.
That's beautiful.
So, download the KBLA 1580 app today and take us with you wherever you go. KBLA Talk 1580.
You are now rocking with the best.
We got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 wishes you a happy day and wants to bless you with one night only. A Wonder Winter's Night presented by Stevie Wonder's House Full of Toys benefit concert. Saturday, December 17th at Microsoft Theater. Download the KBLA Talk 1580.com mobile app to enter to win a pair of tickets. This has been a community call to action brought to you by KBLA Talk 1580.
Did you know addiction to drugs like meth or cocaine is a disease and not a choice? But getting help is. If you have stimulant use disorder, you, your family, and friends may have a lot of questions, including where to start. Choose Change California can help. Make a change today and find a proven treatment option for you at choosechangeca.org.
KBLA Talk 1580 invites you to join us in celebrating the season of giving by being part of the solution. As we enjoy great food, family, warmth, and well wishes in whatever our festive tradition may be, we share the beauty of the season by reaching out to the less fortunate. Please help us to help others with the KBLA Cover the Houseless Cozy Community Coat and Blanket Drive. All you have to do is drop off new or clean, gently used winter coats and blankets in the KBLA lobby during business hours. Now through December 20th, all of the coats and blankets will be donated to honored individuals and families experiencing houselessness. Simply bring your donation to 4434 Crenshaw Boulevard in Los Angeles, near Vernon Avenue, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. weekdays. That's 4434 Crenshaw in historic Leimert Park. During the holidays and every day, let's remember, we keep us safe. We keep us warm. We are the safety net. And together, we can cover the unsheltered. Get caught up in the spirit of the season, the spirit of love. Make a difference with your friends at KBLA Talk 1580.
At Social Security, we are always thinking of ways to save you time and make things easier. That's why we created My Social Security. A My Social Security account allows you to access your earnings history and benefits information, request a replacement Social Security card, get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
Is your job recession-proof? Now might be the perfect time to switch careers and become an IT professional with My Computer Career. IT is listed as one of the top recession-proof professions. You could have your dream job in months, not years. No experience needed. Take classes online or on campus, and financial aid is available to those who qualify, including the GI Bill. Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. It's not rocket science. It's mycomputercareer.edu.
You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
Yeah, Me and the rest of connect. Yeah, me and the rest of connect. And I'll never let my son have an ego. We'll be nice to everyone we go. I mean, I might even make him be Republican, so everybody know he love white people. And I'll never let him leave his college girlfriend and get caught up with the groupies in the whirlwind. And I'll never let him ever hit the telethon. I mean, even the people dying in the world ends. See, I just want him to have an easy life, not like easy life. Just want him to be someone people like. Don't want him to be hated all the time, cuz. Don't be like your daddy that it never was. And I never let him ever hit a strip club. I learned the hard way, there ain't the place to get love. And I never let his mom move to LA, knowing she couldn't take the pressure, now we all pray.
You were checking out the Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. That's Kanye, obviously. Is that an unreleased track that he put out a few days ago? Is that from Watch the Throne? I've never heard that track before. He did put out a track a few days ago, and I was like, that actually sounds like vintage Kanye right there.
And did he just say, I'm never going to let my son have an ego or something like that?
I think so. Oh, that's hilarious.
Okay, yeah. Wow.
Look, that beautiful little girl North got all the personality in the world, though. She going to be incredible.
Yeah, she is. Yeah.
You can tell she's got Kanye's personality. Yeah. She's gonna be beautiful. Watch. Keep your eyes on Northwest.
Yeah.
Right?
I agree.
I want to read some of these comments coming through on socials because it's a really important night. I said Biden brought Brittany Griner home, a nonviolent drug offender. Now it's time that the drafter of the '94 crime bill keeps that same energy here. And ARLYNL. Okay. Says he brought a political prisoner home. As for the nonviolent drug offenders at home, call your governor. Yeah, that's fair. Blue LBC, which by the way I appreciate you always checking in, said that part, Danny Mo Show. This is what we've been saying for years. While many come in our communities and open up dispensaries and ride off into the sunset on our blood, sweat, tears, and pain. 40 Tons Brand came in and said, free all cannabis prisoners like Luke Scarmazzo, Parker Coleman, Pedro Moreno, Rudy Gamo, Carl Hernandez, Jonathan Wall, Lance Glore, Kevin Allen, Mohammed Taher, Mojo, and more. All cannabis prisoners here at home. Wow, that's name dropping right there. I love it. That's anything to do with her personally. It's all about money and politics. And AGD Feller 60 said that crime bill was needed mostly to save innocent black lives. That's debatable. Okay. Before we get into my man Daryl, who's been on the phone for a second, man, I gotta open this. You guys know that we used to have an avid listener that actually used to write us all the time. His name was Tyrese Williams. We haven't heard from Tyrese in how long?
Yeah, it's been a couple months. Few months.
And we're Danny's letter and Robin's letter.
Oh, wow.
He has 2 separate letters. It says here that he's up in North Kern State Prison, which, by the way, is up in my neck of the woods, up in my hometown. So he's over in Kern County.
He started my letter saying, Auntie Rah-Rah.
It's pretty short.
Okay.
Let me speed through it real fast. It says, my brother, all is well on my end. I've been in the hole since August. This place locked down, break men down. It won't break me down. I promise it won't. You and Robin got me through some tough times. Wrong from right. I've been through the storm at 23. Been incarcerated since 17. I was facing several life sentences. They trumped up my charges. I lost hope. I haven't prayed in a long time. Your show inspired me when I was down. A lot of folks washed their hands with me. I seen things I ain't want to see. These people showed me signs I chose not to see. You always spoke good of me. When you mention my name, you speak good. Danny, your heart's pure for real. I appreciate you keeping me in your prayers. Psalms 91, I know by heart. I recall nights when I shouldn't have made it home. Nights some of my peers ain't make it home. My elder said someone was praying over you. Danny, send some of them gorgeous women my way. Wait a minute, weren't we just talking about the Lord? I'm going to send the campaign flick. LOL. Don't be stingy, my brother. Danny, I love you like an uncle, father, or brother. I appreciate you. I don't get your show out here. Write me back, please. Peace. The song is White Man's World by Tupac. One love. Tyrese. Ow. You want to read yours?
I can try to get through it super quickly.
Go ahead and see through it real quick.
Auntie Rah-Rah. Hello. Happy holidays to you and the family. I seen you on TV. You had on yellow. You have a beautiful person. I don't know where that was.
That was on Johnson.
Oh, okay, great. Yes, that was nice. He says, I seen you on TV. You had a beautiful personality. I realized this before I seen you. I made decisions at a young age that dictated my future. I chose to better my situation now. I couldn't see tomorrow. Laugh now, cry later. Things get greater later, though. There's a reason for every season. This situation preserved my life. My peers are dying left and right. They're living in the dark. I see the light. I'm running towards the light. That's so great to hear. Don't let a few minutes dictate years of your life, brothers and sisters. Too many of us are dying young. Some physically, some spiritually, losing hope. My mother used to say a parent not supposed to bury their child, a child supposed to bury their parent. For those who are spiritually dead, you can choose to be happy or choose to be sad. The choice is yours, an internal decision. I've been there, and I choose joy, peace, and serenity. This is a microwave generation. We want everything with an oven. The food tastes different. You talked about that. It takes longer to cook. The results are better, though. A lack of patience ain't good. I lack patience myself. Life's a marathon, not a race. It's not a competition. Go at your own pace. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, like Whitney say. Every day you have 24 hours to accomplish whatever you choose to do. Time something you can't get back. Utilize it wisely. Robin, I appreciate you. Thank you for the kind words. I can't listen to the show. I'll always support y'all, though. Goodbye. And he has a song dedication. Tell Fahima from D.C. by way of Harlem, I'd like to write her.
Ooh, Oracle. Gotcha. We want that information. We got it.
That was very nice.
Don't know if you'll ever hear this, but yeah, man, we pray for you all the time. We pray for you on mic and off, and we just wish you the best, okay? Hopefully I can shake your hand someday. So, no doubt. Let's go to the phones real fast, real quick. Daryl, give me your height, your color, and your hood, Daryl.
Let's see, 6'2", L.A., and Copper Brown.
L.A., check it in, drop that, come on. Yeah. This is Joe Biden and Brittany Griner. What's on your mind?
Well, a little of both. You may not know who Audrey Lorber is, but she was a 19-year-old American girl found guilty of smuggling 17 grams of THC into Russia while on a family vacation. She was released after 2 months and then paid a fine of 15,000 rubles. I guess that's their money over there. As for Brittany, she was convicted. Now, remember, Audrey had 17 grams. Brittany had 0.07 grams. And she was convicted in 9 years and then had to pay 1 million rubles.
Yeah, but I know you're not trying to convince us that this was racially biased and the fact that she was the celebrity. We know that.
I'm not saying that, but I'm just saying to the people that think that she should have just stayed over there, we shouldn't have went and got her. As far as Paul Willard, Trump could have released him in 2018, but he did not because of whatever him and Putin had going on. Paul Whelan was a freaking dishonorably discharged, and he was convicted of espionage. He could have got out a long time ago, but the reason why he wasn't a part of the deal was because Putin didn't want him to be a part of the deal because they are
for bringing Paul Whelan to our attention the other night, but I've done a little research on that cat, and yeah, he's been in there since 2018.
Yeah.
And he's been trying to get up out of there.
Trump could have got him out in 18. He's been in there like 9. I thought he was in there like 9 years. Trump could have got him out in 18.
Yeah,
4 years. He's been in 4.
He's been in for 4 years. And Biden tried to make it a package deal to package him with Brittany Griner.
Right.
Russia wasn't having it. They won't even make him a part of the conversation. They truly believe that he's a spy. So they're not even listening to any
just that convicted of espionage.
Yeah.
And we had to. And Putin wasn't going to move with just anybody, so you had to give him his number one archer, his boy that we had to give up for Brittany. But I'm all for Brittany coming home because she had there's no reason why she should spend 9 years for freaking 0.0 ounces of THC.
Daryl, my only question in this whole thing, because I got to let you go, my only question and concern in this whole thing is, if we're willing to give up the merchant of death for a minor drug offense, what is Russia thinking now? What is America going to give us for Paul Whelan? I bet they're rubbing their hands together like, ooh, if they're going to give us merchant of death for this celebrity, we got a good one. We got a golden one. We're going to hold on to this cat.
I don't think so.
You don't think they're thinking that way?
I don't think so.
Let's keep these separate. We can get something special. You don't think so?
I don't think so.
That's why we normally don't negotiate with terrorists, right? But that said, you don't have anything else that'll probably get her out of there. You know what I mean? And this guy, he can't come back over here. You know, he's already a target. He stepped back on American soil, he's gonna get taken out.
He's gonna come back here and have a show on Fox News the same weekend. What are you talking about, man?
Okay, let me real quick. As far as Biden.
Wait, hold that thought. When we come back, I'll let you do it, okay?
Okay.
1-800-920-1580, Danny Mo Show, KBLA, stay there.
From Bakersfield to Los Angeles, like George and Weezy, Danny Morrison is moving on up at KBLA Talk 1580.
Black music and entertainment OGs still making moves. Maisha Cairo here with your K-Black Minute News. First stop, Bobby Brown announces upcoming world tour with new edition in 2023. Ricky Bell, Michael Bivins, Ronnie DeVoe, Ralph Tresvant, and Bobby Brown, according strong to permanently break. In other news, Gladys Knight is awarded with Kennedy Center honors from President Joe Biden. The 7-time Grammy Award winner Gladys Knight, 78 years old, received the Kennedy honors for her contribution to the arts. And if you didn't know, the Empress of Soul will soon be releasing a scripted miniseries about her life that she is executive producing. And last stop, Mike Tyson and Ice Cube sit down for a chat, and Ice Cube reveals that he's doing what he can to regain control of the Friday franchise to, quote, make the fans happy. That's your K-Black Minute News.
Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare for being KBLA Talk 1580's Office of the Week. Into your business today in the KBLA app or KBLA1580.com for the Office of the Week. Congratulations to Trinity Unlimited Childcare.
Okay, so here's the truth about December 17th and why you should register on DeannaRamble.com. Okay, get ready. DeannaRamble.com and why you should register for a free event about contracts. December 17th to be with me, Rambo, and my special guest. First of all, if you don't have a lot of contracts right now, you need to be there. Like, the whole new year is coming in. I've been doing these events for a while. The event has over 500 minority business owners there. So if you haven't attended, you need to attend. And if you have attended, you probably already started winning contracts because the event's free. December 17th is a Saturday. It's only for 2 hours. My special guest can only talk up to 6 minutes. And these are the mayor's office, LA counties talking about contracts, the city, DeannaRamble.com. So if I haven't convinced you December 17th to come to DeannaRamble.com and register, I really don't know what else to do. It's all about contracts. DeannaRamble.com, DeannaRamble.com.
Special Needs Network Incorporated, together with Assembly Member Isaac Bryan, cordially invites you to Christmas Care Exchange in the Park, Sunday, December 18th from 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. Experience a day of giving, love, community, and support. There will be celebrity guests, arts and crafts, resource fair, and more. Come take a picture with Santa. Enjoy the DJ. This is a free event open to the public Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. Don't miss the Christmas Care Exchange in Lamert Park, located on 43rd Place in Crenshaw. This is the season of giving, and the Special Needs Network, together with Assembly Member Isaac Bryan, wants to bless you Sunday, December 18th, 11 a.m. to 2 p.m. There will be toys for all kids up to 18 years. Children must be present. See you Sunday. Thanks to our sponsors, Let's Behold, The Butterfly Effect, and SEIU 721, State Council on Developmental Disabilities, Niagara Water, Lakeshore Learning, Puck School, Crystal Stairs, Beach Cities, Beta Gamma Nu, Casa Lopez, and Los Tabulocos.
Real talk, real time, the gospel truth. You're listening to the Danny Morrison Show on KBLA Talk 1580.
Back to the phones that are on fire, having a conversation with Daryl, talking about Paul Whelan, talking about Brittany Griner, and Joe Biden. You were making a point, Daryl. Get back to it.
Yeah, closing out on Joe Biden, I think he realizes the mistake he made in that 94 crime bill. But it was the whole Clinton machine pushing that crime bill along with Joe Biden. That said, he has tried to right his wrong by appointing so many black federal judges.
True.
He even put Tashani Jackson in the Supreme Court, first black woman in the Supreme Court, and he's got the first black woman as vice president. I mean, come on, you got to get a guy something, man.
Yeah, got to. And some would make the case that the Congressional Black Caucus back in the day signed off on that 94 crime bill just as fast as he did. So that's a whole different conversation.
One more thing, though, Danny. I think they're working on. I think he ran up against opposition, but I think he said that he wanted to free violent drug offenders.
Hopefully we can get
marijuana.
to it. We need a federal law stating so, but hopefully we'll get there. Hey,
and that's what he wanted to have that in the bill too, but he ran up against so much opposition with the Republicans.
Yeah, we got to take it a step
I think he's putting that together because I'm heavily invested in a company that's waiting on that deal to pass. Anyways. But, yeah, I appreciate your time tonight.
Hey, give Daryl a call of the night because he's becoming one of our favorites for sure. God bless you. Have a good one, okay?
You as well, sir.
All right, see you later. Fred, get up in here. Fred, give me your height, your color, and your hood, Fred.
I'm calling from Northridge, California.
North is checking in. Drop that. Let's go. Yeah. What's on your mind tonight?
Yes, sir. It's about Wheeler. Okay, if anybody will go ahead and do a little research about this guy was a U.S. Marine. I was a U.S. Marine. I got discharged with an honorable discharge. Okay? He didn't. He forged checks. They gave him a couple of warnings. He continued to do that type of behavior. Then he got busted down one rank. And he got fined. Okay? When he got out of the Marine Corps, it was with a dishonorable discharge. Now, because he was traveling the world and doing what he did, the CIA approached him. They offered him money, and they told him that they would clean up his military record if he did this little thing for him. When he got caught, he was caught with a flash drive with Russian military secrets. So technically, he was a spy. Okay. Now, with Brittany Griner was just a woman who was in the sports entertainment, who was trying to make some extra money so that she could feed her family. And she got caught up with, like I said, babe sticks. Okay. And they knew she had been smuggling them in, for her own private use.
Wait. Who said smuggling anything? Where'd you get that from?
Did she have it concealed in her luggage?
Yeah, but you're saying smuggling as if, there was a historical precedence, like she had been doing it for a while or something. I ain't read that.
She had been doing it a while. She had been going there 2 or 3 times. to Russia.
But you're calling it a smuggling. That's where I disagree.
It's because technically it would be if you're kind of concealing something. Any type of concealing is going to be smuggling. I think that's the word choice. I mean,
but we don't know if she had been doing it or not. Even if she had done it even before, we don't know.
Right. Well, and that part, y'all work out. She technically, even on this one, technically that would be smuggling. Yeah.
I'm with you there.
Yeah.
He's saying, they noticed that she had been smuggling. Had been smuggling is past tense. Easy. Come on, Fred.
Brother, can I say something?
Go ahead.
I'm from California. I live in California, but I had a house down in Florida. Every time I flew out of LAX and went down to Florida before they legalized it for medical marijuana, I was smuggling stuff into let's keep it real.
Yeah. Technically, that's what it is. Griner had done that before, which that's not the first time I heard that. I've not read it, but it's not the first time I heard it, that she did it almost this time like it was no big deal because she had done it before. And it was such a low amount that I don't think she was maybe even thinking twice about it.
And she got a doctor's prescription.
Right,
you go on Business Beach, pay $40, you get the prescription too.
It sounds like we're playing semantics here. You're saying perhaps she had been. You're saying she had been traveling with this weed pen for a number of months, maybe even years even. So one could surmise that perhaps she had been smuggling that weed pen for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I just don't like the term smuggler. I don't know.
It's what it is, though.
Yeah, that's why I said we're probably playing semantics there. You were finish up real quick, Fred. Go ahead.
So the thing is, she was used as a political pawn. The Russians know how to play mind games. They know how to play propaganda. Had Joe Biden left her in and had brought Wheeler out, blacks would have cried racism. Why y'all leave her in there? And I'm talking about she was in a gulag, Siberia. That's the gulag.
Yeah.
Okay? So Biden, he's not going to lose black votes for a guy with a dishonorable discharge.
You got that right. Look, Biden, it's a move that he's trying to win this. And like I mentioned on the show a couple nights ago, she's going to be on the campaign trail with that cat. And he's got the black community right now. Watch. It's coming. And watch. In this tell-all interview that she does on TV, she going to do nothing but praise Joe Biden.
Exactly. She going to stand up for the flag. The whole thing.
She going to be, and Biden's going to be like, yep, I just secured the black vote in 2024, didn't I?
She's going to be the most patriotic American since Betsy Ross.
I think it's interesting, though, because it's going to look like a black thing. It's going to look like, like some racial play here. It's going to look like that. It's going to look like a good look for the LGBTQ plus community, when in fact it really is just about the fact that she shouldn't have been over there. That's what it really is about. He wasn't going to take out Whelan. He wasn't going to bring him home because of the dishonorable discharge, because of the espionage. It doesn't even make sense, right? But it does make sense. The reason why it seems so drastic and people are up in arms over it is because, we let the merchant of death go, for Brittany Griner.
Okay.
But it's the reason why it just makes sense because she shouldn't have been over there for something so small, whereas it wouldn't have made sense for Whelan.
So are we all going to come to the conclusion that Whelan should be in there?
I can't agree that he's in there, but you got to remember the United States is the biggest merchant of death there is. So that little thing that man was doing to all the chaos the United States have been doing for centuries around the world.
Facts! Right there. By the way, I did a little research on Brittany. Everybody was saying that, she hates this country, and come to find out, she was trying to get the WNBA to not play the national anthem during the games. That's why they're saying that. She said, not only should we be kneeling, we shouldn't be playing the national anthem at all. So they said, she's so anti-American. That's what they said.
Yeah, okay.
We all got caught up in the Black Lives Matter movement for a minute, right?
As we should. Are you saying we shouldn't?
No, we should, but at the time, you got to look at the time she said it. The emotions was high.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And we all said things that, I don't know. I would say in the rash statements, because we did say, as a black community, we did lay it on.
Real quick, Fred, in closing, when the national anthem is playing at a Laker game and you're sitting there, what do you do when it comes on? Do you stand? Do you put your hand over your heart? What do you do?
Well, I'm a Marine, so I can do whatever I want. I spilled my blood. So the rest of y'all got to stand up. I can lay down and go to sleep if I want to.
By the way, that's Caller of the Night right there. God, wow, excuse me. Oh, say, can you see? Just put me in my place. I'm just saying. Have a good night, Fred. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Fred.
Yes, sir, man. I'm due to your show, but I'm loving every minute of it.
God bless you. Thank you so much. Hope to hear from you soon.
Thank you.
News and traffic right now. Your raw report blazes up on the other side. Danny Morrison Show, KBLA Talk 1580. We got a lot to talk about. You heard?
KBLA 1580 Santa Monica.
I'm Doug Davis, and here's the latest from a Black Information Network. A bill ensuring federal protections for same-sex and interracial marriages is now the law of the land. President Biden signed the Respect for Marriage Act during a ceremony at the White House. WNBA star Brittany Griner is said to be doing well as she recovers at a Texas military hospital after being released from